Okay, good afternoon, colleagues. Good afternoon, everyone. It seems now we have a good representation from the member states. So far, we have 4 countries that are represented out of the 10 member states. To give more room for discussion after the presentation, we can kickstart with the first item on the agenda. First item on the agenda. So for video conferencing and Zoom etiquettes, this thing is not new. So if you want to make any comments, you can use the raise hand button on your screen to make it more easier. Or in another way, you can also, if you have a question, you can also write it to us via message, and we will definitely read your question. So without wasting more time, we can just go into the participants introduction. So you introduce yourself and which country you are representing. So we can start with Dr. Kapina. So kindly mute your mic if you are not talking, please. Yes, carry on, Dr. Kapina.
Yes, thank you. I'm Zara Kapina from ZNPHI, Zambia.
Thank you. Thank you. So we have Malawi.
Yes, afternoon. I'm Owen Msopoli from Ministry of Health, Malawi. Thank you.
Okay, we have.
Thank you. This is Dr. Andrew Rikaga, Minister of Health, Malawi.
Thank you. So we go to Zimbabwe. Okay, it seems that Zimbabwe is not responding. Then the rest of the Africa CDC team, you can introduce yourself. We can start with Dr. Ario.
I am Wahid Ario Bakari, IPC Focal Point, Southern Africa region.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ario. We have Ezine on the call.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ezine Omepe with the RSS in Zambia.
Okay, Dr. Nafisa.
Hi, everyone. I'm Nafisa from the Division of Disease Control and Prevention, and I'm based in Addis Ababa. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nafisa. Chika, are you online? Okay, so it seems Chika is not online. So I will allow the coordinator to introduce himself. Dr. Lul.
Well, good morning, colleagues. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dr. Lulvik. I'm the Regional Coordinator for RCC Southern Africa based in Lusaka, Zambia. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Dr. Lul. So I can see that Chikan is not on the call for her to give us the regional updates for COVID-19. So then we are just going to jump straight into the presentation so that it will give us more room for discussion at the end of the presentation. Dr. Lul will be leading us.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah, just a quick one. There are actually other representatives from other member states, even if it's just one person who can introduce the rest of them. I can see Namibia here and Eswatini as well.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much, Ezine. The Namibia team, can you kindly introduce yourself and your team?
Good afternoon. We are Olivia, Nakwafila, Erta Ludilu, and Faida. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Olivia. Eswatini? Anyone from Eswatini? Okay, can we have Zimbabwe? I saw Howard. Howard, can you hear us?
Oh, sorry, sorry from Swatini.
Okay, can you introduce yourself?
Hello?
Hello, yes. Can you introduce
Yes, good afternoon. I'm Tabang Masangane from Swatini IPC at national level.
Thank you very much, Tabang. It seems Zimbabwe is on, but they are unable to hear us because they are not responding. So without wasting more time, we will hand the baton to Dr. Lul, who will be leading us on the presentation for the Southern Africa RESILNet. Over to you, Dr. Lul. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that you will be able to share yours.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, once again. Can you see my screen?
No, we can't see.
Hello?
Not yet, not yet.
We can't see your screen, Doc.
Well, no, isn't online.
Let me share your screen from here.
Okay. Okay, can you put in a presentation mode?
Yeah.
Slide. Okay, go to the next, please. So if you would allow me, this is the outline of presentation that I'm going to share with you. It has 3 parts. The first part, which includes objective, vision, the missions, Africa CDC strategic pillars, and RCC functions. So this is the basic facts about the African CDC. So the second part of the presentation is, which is the most important part, it's the most informative one. It's about what is the RESILNet. So I will try to give you the precise definition of the RESILNet, its components, and also the key challenges in the context of the Southern Africa region. Also, to conclude, this will give you why we are doing this. What are the benefits of RESILNet? And also, like they say it in the praise, seeing is believing. I'm going to give you a quick achievement that the RESILNet has achieved in Central RCC regions. So the last one, I don't see it, but it's all about the way forward. How the African CDC, Southern Africa regions plan for the next 3 months to ensure that the Southern Africa RESILNet is operational. So next. So to give you a heads up, our today objective is the first time I believed the RESILNet is the idea or the concept is going to be introduced in Southern Africa region. So my objective for this afternoon presentation is to introduce Southern Africa region RESILNet, also to give you an idea to have a better understanding of this platform or the frameworks. What are the procedures that are included? What are the challenges? And what are the benefits of the RESILNet? Next, please. So for those who don't have a good ideas about what African CDC is all about. So the vision is a serve a healthier and prosperous Africa. When you come to mission, which is a very, very important one, because that's exactly what guides African CDC, the regional collaborating centers, will always, whatever we do, we are reminded why we are doing it, because that's what will give us a momentum, courage, and also to exist. So in brief, African CDC is to strengthen African public health institutions, capacity, capability, and partnership to detect and respond quickly and effectively to disease threats and outbreaks based on science, policies, and data-driven intervention and programs. Next. So African CDC is strategically thought that to accomplish that mission, they have to help member states in 5 areas. That's where it's strategically designed and thought through. One is surveillance and disease intelligence. 2 is to preparedness the member states and respond effectively to health emergency, whether it's a disease, man-made, national disasters. 3, laboratory systems and networks. 4, information systems. 5, public health research and institute. But in the very bottoms, Africa CDC knows that to accomplish those, it has to be part of the overall healthcare systems, built based on the 6 building blocks that's recommended by the World Health Organization. So we can't accomplish those strategies unless we have an adequate financings, we have very effective leadership, good management, well-trained, motivated workforce. Nevertheless, we need to build partnerships that works and share the common interests and for good of the people in Africa regions. Also believe in innovations with the technology to accomplish this. Next. Next, please. Hello?
Isn't it,
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm coming. It's hanging.
Okay. Okay, go up a little bit. Okay, this one. Okay. Okay, this is Africa's CDC operating model. So in short, Africa's CDC is a technical health agency of the African Union, and it's operates in 6 regions. These regions based in Zambia and is named Southern Africa RCC. And all of those RCC, they work in close relationship or either hosted or work in close relationship with National Public Health Institutes in each African country. In case of Southern Africa's RCC, we are privileged being hosted by Zambia National Public Health Institutes. Next. So in very brief, RCC was strategically created. As the name implies, the Regional Collaborating Center is to coordinate all regional public health initiatives in member states in a close consultation with Africa CDC headquarters, specifically to support member states in implementing the strategic objective of the 5 functional pillars of Africa's CDC. That include cross-cutting areas, workforce, partnership, innovation, finance, and leadership and management. 2, strengthens core capacities around surveillance, laboratory systems, and networks, information system, emergency preparedness and response, and public health research. 3, strengthens collaboration among member states in emergencies, disease outbreaks, and in responding to epidemics, pandemic, infectious disease, and non-communicable disease as well. Also to train public health personnel in member states, improve communication among the member states, RCC and Africa CDC Secretariat, also to establish focal point offices with the Ministry of Health that are actively cooperating and liaising on the public health status of each member state within their regions. Next, please. This slide is so important and a link to why we want to establish a framework with the name Regional Integrated Surveillance and Laboratory Network, which is RESINET. It's because based on some assessments that was conducted in the regions, has exposed some of challenges that need to be overcome that this region can be able to accomplish the mission of the African CDC or WISH. So one challenge is that member states don't have the needed capacity to rapidly detect, investigate effectively, and respond to and control disease outbreaks. Also, we observe limited coordination, partnership, and framework to harness trust among member states. Additionally, we observe inadequate regional mechanisms to leverage the capacity and asset of the partner networks across the region for greater public health impact. Also, we observe weak public health competencies for relevant frontline healthcare personnel, including trainings, skill buildings in such areas as applied epidemiology, bioinformatics, laboratory methods, surveillance, and etc. Again, we observe insufficient harmonization of surveillance, laboratory policies among member states. Last but not least, limited financial and human resource in the regions. Next, please. Here, this is our second part. And that's the reason that this presentation is shared with you today. It's about RESINET, Regional Integrated Surveillance Laboratory Network in Southern African region. It's defined as a cross-border network or platform that should be aligned to the Africa CDC structures of 5 regional coordinating centers. Also, RESINET aims to serve as an integrated platform for regional surveillance and laboratory systems, emergency preparedness, prevention, control and response, and public health research. Also seek to integrate existing initiatives as a part of One Health approach, which will lead to optimize use of limited resources and great impact through collective action. One Health approach is something new to the region and perhaps to the whole world. It's about looking strategically and maybe even strongly to see the connection between the animal health, the environment that we live, and human health. Put all of them into one context. And we have seen the relationship is stronger in case of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. Also, ResNet is seriously linked to the objective of the African Union Vision 2063, as highlighted in Regional Integration and Cooperation and Systems Strategy for Africa, which call for collective action on transnational priorities, including disease surveillance, prevention, and control. Next, please. So specifically, the objective of the ResNet, one is to strengthen surveillance and existing laboratory networks in the regions. Also to support another framework proposed by the African CDC, antimicrobial resistant frameworks. We know it's a big problem. 2 weeks ago, we have a whole 1 week to raise an awareness on how seriousness of the antimicrobial resistance in our regions and perhaps in the whole continent. 3, we need to create linkages or synergies with centers of the excellence for specific activities and mandates. Leverage the capacity and the asset of the partner networks across the region for greater public health impact. Also to ensure that each member state in our regions has adequate laboratory capacity to rapidly identify outbreak. So in short, it's so important to have the ResNet as a framework that will bring together our political leadership in health, our lead technical working group in member states, either in labs or in surveillance, bring them to the one forum, have that sincere discussion guided by our mission and our commitment to serve the people in this region, the people that we love so much, that we dedicated ourselves to this vision. Because world with COVID-19 has changed, we become one piece. There's no reason Zambia and Malawi, Zimbabwe don't have a joint planning to have the same discussions, etc. This will be an opportunity for those technical working groups to have that sincere discussion guided by their national policies, guided by the African CDC strategic priorities and strategic objectives. That will give us an opportunity to work as a public health that we dedicate our life to be. Next. So in short, this slide, it was taken from the Central Africa ResNet based on the component that they are considering. And of course, laboratory is a key, surveillance, human resource or workforce development, and also importantly, is partnership, a sincere partnership, working together, guided by mutual interest. Next. You see, in any business, public health included, if you design something, you need to know what will be the benefit, why we are doing this, why we introducing it. It's because there are significant benefits that you will get if you implement the ResNet in Southern Africa. One benefit, ResNet will improve regional surveillance networks with a defined set of core capacities, including zoonotic disease, effective surveillance systems, and also will give us an opportunity for effective response capabilities, such as contact tracing and monitoring and other workforce cards. Importantly, it will offer an opportunity for collaboration among member states, including areas of testing, surveillance, emergency response, data sharing and management, training, outreach, and communication. Last but not least, it will also serve as a platform to implement Africa's CDC 5-year strategic plan. So ladies and gentlemen on call, it's something that very, very important to all of us. So RCC, which is the Regional Cooperating Center that based here in Zambia and Lusaka, it has a significant role. And the role that the RCC will play is to establish the regional secretariat in Addis. Like Africa CDC headquarters will set the policies in collaboration with RCC. On this call, we have a colleague from the Africa CDC headquarters to guide us, to share with us the lesson learned from Central Africa regions, to ensure that there is consistency of that framework. So what we're doing in Southern Africa has to be in line with Africa's CDC policies, and also will be based on the evidence learned from the Central Africa region. So it's not something that's alien that we need to reinvent the wheel. It has some framework that we have to follow that has been tested and also validated and prove that they are working. Next. So this is the proposed structure to guide the implementation of the rest of Southern Africa resident in line with the Africa CDC. You see on the top, we have Africa CDC to provide the policy guidance, the strategic guidance, the resource mobilization on top. Below, you have all 5 regional cooperating centers. Again, below, we can be able to accomplish without the support of the National Public Health Institute's directors, national coordinators, technical coordinators, and all the areas that the African CDC prioritized, in line with building One Health and also contributing into the building the strong healthcare systems in our member state. Next, please. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is our last portion of our presentation. And this based on the true experience that has been implemented in Central Africa ResNet. It was the first to be launched. And now we are competing with your support that we need to launch this framework in Southern Africa. There's a phrase, maybe many of you have heard it many times. They say, seeing is believing. If you see something, you will believe. So this next 3 slides is about seeing so we can believe. 2018, 2019, when the ResNet was launched in Central Africa, it managed in very short time, in 1 year. The Central Africa region trained 247 laboratory health workers from 9 countries in Central Africa. Also, they conducted several training in SLMTA, quality assurance, external quality assessments, basic laboratory information systems, equipment maintenance and calibration, and also point of care testing. Those ones that are very verifiable, validated. Dr. Nafisa, she's on the call. She will also can share the line. She can share the additional light on those slides. So additionally, some of the key achievements is 3 framework documents developed, including regional integrated surveillance and laboratory networks, sample transportation system, national laboratory strategic plan, also 5 guidance documents developed, including antimicrobial resistant testing, point of care testing in Central Africa region, quality manual for laboratory testing, laboratory by safety, by security. But the most important, like you see in this picture, all those are technical officers from member state in Central Africa region. They all came together to develop those guiding documents. They discussed, they considered their national policies, they consider some of the weaknesses or some of the challenges that they have, and they came up with those documents. The important about these documents, they did not come from nowhere. It's built by the people, those who are going to implement it. And that's the biggest difference. It's not just adopting a document or adopting it from different source. It's something you contribute in development. And that's the biggest difference. That will give chance for implementation or to implement that document. When you contribute in something, you will know it in and out, and it will be easy for countries to implement. Next. Next, please. So, just before the conclusions, the Southern Africa's RCC is proposing in the next 1 month what needs to be done with the limited resources, considering that this is the end of the year, holidays are coming. So we propose the following, and we need your sincere support, especially the member states, to look deeply into these 5 bullets. 1, we need to review and refine and finalize the draft of the Southern Africa Regional Status. The status is like the framework of governing of the region in Southern Africa RCC. We are working in collaboration with the African CDC headquarters, and also we need to identify experts from member states to work with us so they will have an opportunity to have their input before we finalize the documents. Also, in this time, we will work in collaboration with our colleague at the headquarters to identify an implementing partner to develop key activities for implementation in this region. Of course, we will continue doing advocacy for buy-in for member states. And this is the first meeting that we need to introduce this document to generate some questions, some concern. I believe this is the first time it's been presented in Southern Africa region. So we will be very open-minded in terms of getting your feedback, either today or you send them to us. We need to hear from you because it will help us to improve this document to reflect the true need and challenges of Southern Africa. We're also planning for Southern Africa RCC ResNet validation workshop. So once we finalize the ResNet status, which is the government document, we will now organize a 3-day workshop. Perhaps it's going to be hosted by the Honorable Minister of Health of Zambia. He agreed to it. So we will take opportunity the first 2 days it will be all technical experts to go through the statutes, make changes as they have seen them, and also will accept that there will be someone from National Public Health Institute of all member states, and also someone from surveillance or international health regulation focal point in the area. So those 2 days will be all technical working. The last day will give an opportunity for our ministers, for political leaders, also to endorse that document, to make it official. And that will pave a way for the technical working groups to start working and implementing some of our areas. If we want to start with laboratory, we want to start with the surveillance, it will be up to the facts and the realities on the ground. Next slide, please. It's almost. So this, I believe, is the last slide. It's the reflection from the Central Africa region, because, like I said, it has been launched and is working. So some of colleagues say Central Africa region has been described by some of the member states as a game changer for laboratory network capacity and also for information system, and also described as a problem solver for surveillance and emergency preparedness and response in Central Africa. Once again, Central Africa region also will function as a platform for coordinating antimicrobial resistance surveillance, disease controls in Central Africa. Last but not least, members of Central African regions are now working as a one team like never seen before. And that team led by the technical people in sharing the information. So with this, I want to thank all the member states that make the time to be the first to hear about Southern Africa ResMed. I also want to thank my colleague from the HQ, the Nafisa and the team, for giving us technical support. And before I open up the discussions, I will give Dr. Nafisa to interact. And I know you did not provide us any input in the presentation. So maybe you want us to struggle, but now it's time for you also to provide some guidance and really experience from Central Africa residents. So thank you, and we look forward to the fruitful discussions and answer some of the concerns. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Lu, for the very detailed presentation. So like you mentioned, we have someone from HQ. If Dr. Nafisa, if you have anything to add to that, you can just quickly do that. But why she does that, if you have any comments or questions or clarifications, we're running out of time. So you can use the chat function and we will come back to look at that while we listen to what Dr. Nafisa has to say. Dr. Nafisa, do you have anything to add?
I don't know whether I think she stepped out.
Okay, so if she's wait, we'll just keep watch and wait while for her to come back if she has anything to add to the presentation. But the floor is open now to all of us, and I thank you very much for, we have a lot of high-level people, technical experts, and on this call, and that's actually the kind of audience we wanted, so that you can critically, for the first time that we're bringing this out, give feedback or any clarification or whatever you think on. We've listed our next steps how do you think we can achieve those next steps? So it's open to the floor. We have 7 countries on the call, so at least one person from each country to say something about how you think we can go forward on this ReaSoNet. Thank you. I can call countries if we want to go by that. We can start with our host country, Zambia. The reason why we brought this out is to get feedback from you, the regional eco group. So we can start with Zambia. Is there any comments, additions from, we have a very rich team from Zambia. If you can say on this.
Hi, Ezini.
Yes.
This is Dr. Musonda from Zambia, ZMPHI. Good afternoon to everybody. Thank you again to the regional coordinator for the for the overview and the rich presentation. Mine is just to say that as Zambia, we've really been looking forward to the advancement and eventual establishment of the ReaSoNet in our sub-region, in the Southern African RCC region. So we really look forward to being part of this rich network that will help us move together as, you know, as a unit, as a whole region, because obviously we do face very similar challenges, but there is some good capacity in terms of both the physical assets as well as human resource capacity within the region. Already, I think we have seen very good collaborations on specific programs and under specific initiatives, but it would be nice that all those coalesce together under the ReaSoNet, and we can have you know, a much broader view and framework that enables us to work together as a unit. So just to thank the RCC for convening this and for this initiative, which we do look forward to participating in. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Zambia and Dr. Musonda. Any other comment from Zambia or additions? Let's just keep in mind on, I'm going to share my screen on the way forward, how we can actualize some of those things that we have listed. And okay. So if there isn't any more comment from Zambia, we can move to Malawi. Already has a comment on the chat. Let me see what it is again. It says, thanks for the wonderful presentation. You have mentioned some key challenges and opportunities. Do we have some early successes that we can talk about? Dr. Owen, is it of the central ReaSoNet or of the RCC? Can you clarify, please?
Yeah, thank you so much. Once again, thank you for the presentation. I saw a number of key challenges that were highlighted on the presentation, but
hello.
I was also looking forward to see from DC. I see. Let's go. Thank you.
Okay, I'm trying to go back to the presentation. Oh, okay, it's key challenges in the region. That's what in the presentation.
It was key challenges from the region. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Yes. Yeah. But we have not reflected the key successes. It was not good to paint the negative all the time. We can also paint the key success stories, and then the coming in of the ReaSoNet as an opportunity for us to achieve more. That's what I wanted to
Okay, so the RCC team and Africa CDC team, can you highlight some key successes in there are? This is something to note, to highlight some key successes and opportunities in the region to leverage on. Okay.
Hi, this is Dr. Nafisa.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Hi.
Good to have you back.
Yes. Sorry, I did have to step out, but I'm glad I'm back for this bit. I think, you know, as part of the presentation, we did present some of the achievements of ResolNet in the Central Africa region in terms of like, you know, what it can achieve. And I think perhaps, you know, the Southern Africa team can comment a bit more on some of the early successes, but maybe I can just, you know, say already that even this ECHO platform, which is a platform where, you know, we're trying to get people from different countries in the region on the call and discussing, you know, common issues, for example, that could even be an example of a success, you know, because it embodies the values that ResolNet is, you know, is trying to achieve in the region. So from my side, I think that's all I can comment on at the moment. I think the thinking behind portraying the challenges that are faced in the region are also to, you know, demonstrate where ResolNet can fit in. But I do think that there might be some, you know, early successes, perhaps experienced by different networks that the team can comment on. But for me, definitely, you know, ECHO is one of the successes because, you know, it brings together, you know, different people from different areas at the ministerial level, for example, that are able to communicate and discuss, you know, yeah, and even us, you know, at HQ level, if we need any information, this is the platform to join, because we know we'll meet people who are able to help us with some of our queries. So already, for me, that is an example of of the success that I'm sure we will achieve with ResolNet in the Southern Africa region. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. That's actually what I was about to say. This is a very clear example. Yes, anybody wants to say something else?
I mean, this. I want to thank Dr. Owen from Malawi for bringing those questions up. But like I put it, the objective of this presentation is to introduce the ResolNets in our region. And that's in that context, we came up with what is the problem that we need to overcome to improve the situation that we are already in. Our goal as a public health is to ensure that our people have a healthy life that they truly desire. So whatever we accomplish as a success, we accomplished it already. So we're looking at how to overcome some of the new challenges, emerging challenges, that they may prevent us to realize the healthy life that we truly desire. In Southern Africa, as a RCC, it's one of the best functioning RCCs already in the continent. And it was made possible because of the resiliency and the technical support of the host country like Zambia, and also the willingness of the countries in the region to come together, like my colleague Dr. Nafisa is referring to this ECHO, to be able to share the information and concern. And all this has been reflected during the COVID-19. There was so much working together from the laboratory systems, from the information sharing, it never before. So we have so much success that we could be so happy to mention.
We want whatever that is inconsistent is the one that you write down.
Okay, back to the
Okay, so like I have put up on the screen, This is our way forward that we had presented. We are looking at the ReaSoNet statute to finalize and find a way to review, finalize that draft before we call people together. And the second item there is identifying experts from member states. So I believe that some of us on this call are already some of these experts that we can identify to look at this document again, since this is the document that will guide as a governing document for the ReaSoNet. But we also implore you that if you've gone through this presentation, there are some people who might want to reach that are not on the call, but those of us who have gone through this presentation and feel that there are other people who can provide their expertise in reviewing this guiding document of the ReaSoNet. I have dropped an email in the chat function, Africa CDC RCC South at africanunion.org. Kindly send, you can send the details of the person, or you can just reply to the email that invited you for the eco session. Either of them, it can still get towards these subject matter experts that can help us to finalize this statute. I just wanted to mention that before we continue getting our feedback. So any other comment from anybody? We just have 3 minutes to 3, which is our official closing time. So does any other person have any comments or advice on how we can move forward with ReaSoNet?
I think there's a question in the chat box addressed to Dr. Lul from Olivia, asking about how the universities or higher education institutions will be incorporated into or in this collaboration, if they will be, as far as the ReaSoNet for the Southern Africa RCC is concerned.
Well, thank you again, Dr. Olivia. The bullet number 2, it says identify expert from the member state to review and support the finalization of the ReaSoNet status. So those experts could be from universities that work closely with the Minister of Health. It could be from the National Public Health Institute. It could be from surveillance teams. So at least we need to reach out to the countries, like my colleague put it. So in next 7 days, we will ask all the member states to identify some of the experts, either from universities or research institutions, laboratory, surveillance. You can send their names to RCC so we can share with them the draft that we have. They can review it. We can have a discussion to guide them about our expectations, so they can put all their inputs into the draft of the statute document before finalization. Is that good enough, Dr. Olivia? Dr.
Yes,
Olivia, are you
yes,
still
yes,
on?
Doc. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Or any other feedback, questions? We're open. So we heard at least from Malawi, Zambia, Namibia. So we've not heard from Eswatini, Lesotho, Zimbabwe, and Mozambique that are also on the call, at least something to let us know that you also accept this in good faith. No feedback?
Hi, this is Nafisa again.
Okay.
Maybe just to highlight that, you know, the reason obviously we are involving the countries, obviously from the very beginning, you know, of this. So, I mean, that's also why we don't have, you know, early results to present for ReaSoNet, because we haven't, you know, properly started. We are still at the very beginning, and we really want to make sure that, you know, countries in the southern region take ownership of this document. Obviously, you know, the framework is a document that will be a living document. So even after it's finalized, it won't be, you know, the final one. It can always be updated according to, like, you know, what is being experienced in the region. and with, like, the changing realities of, the public health setting. But ideally, we really want feedback from experts in the surveillance and the lab, and obviously, One Health being an important component of ResolNet, definitely, from the different sectors of public health, to give their feedback on it. And if there's, maybe, I don't know, maybe, will this presentation be shared, Ezine?
Yes, it's going to be shared.
Oh, okay, great. So maybe, we can also give some time, I don't know if we have a weekly ECHO call, but maybe to give some time to everyone to have a look through the presentation and maybe share with colleagues who may have, additional feedback to give on the presentation. And then we can decide again on, because we really want to have obviously experts in every country to ensure that, we really identify regional issues and not issues that are proper to just one country, because that's, what ResolNet, that's what differentiates ResolNet with the work that is being done by the different divisions at Africa CDC. Obviously, they will come at country level and, build capacity, etc. But we really want to look at it from a regional perspective and see, what is needed to build capacity in the region, and what are the, the priorities in the region. So it's important to keep that in mind when looking at the document as well. Yeah.
Thanks a lot. So we have a couple of comments from the chat. We'll just run through that and I think we'll round up. So Eswatini has said, thank you for the presentation. Looking forward to successful finalization and implementation of the framework and activities. Thank you, Eswatini. And there is a very important question from Almiro Rogerio. I don't know which country you're from, but he asks, or he or she says, what will be the differential to other initiatives such as ASLM and ANIS? ASLM is a lab network and ANIS is for influenza surveillance. So these are also networks. What will be the differential to these initiatives? That's a very important question to ask. And Maria says, it is a great idea that the high-level management will be involved in the review, definitely. Then Dr. Kunda from ZNPHI says, I propose that the MPHIs in each member state be the focal point to coordinate, bringing together the multi-sectoral stakeholders and experts at country level. Thank you very much for the very important contribution, Dr. Musonda. And Guguma from Eswatini says, we appreciate the collaboration, especially sourcing of reagents and supplies for countries to have standardized protocols from Eswatini. Thanks again for the presentation. So there are very, very important points to note from this chat. So maybe we can take the question about ASLM and ANIS, how it relates to the ResolNet.
Well, thank you, colleague. Let's just go straight to our conclusions. There are so many frameworks in our regions and perhaps in other regions. But the good thing that we are complementing one another based on our competitive advantages of each and every organization. Because with SLM, Africa CDC work very, very closely with SLM in training and capacity buildings using the same resources that they have. Not very long ago, it's like 3 days ago, we have a workshop on antigen rapid testing for the whole continent. That brought together the World Health Organization Regional Office, the ASLM, FNIT, all the organizations, they came together to complement one another. So don't see other organizations that they would be a competition. They would be a complement. We already work together with those. So comment number 2 is like my colleague, Dr. Nafisa said, it's all about the people that we serve in this region. And I can emphasize it enough the role that will be played by the member states. Africa CDC will support, but we need your proactiveness. We need your contribution. We suggest in the bullet number 2 that we can give you this week to do your consultation, but we sincerely encourage you to identify 2 or 3 people from the Research Institute, from university, from National Public Health Institute, from a surveillance team to have that meetings, and we can share with them this presentation. We can also share with them the statute so they can go through it and put their input. Once, to ensure the ownership that the country truly owns. And it's, whatever is written in that statute, it must be aligned with the national policies of each and every member state. And that's the good news. So we give you this opportunity to identify those people. When you identify them, share them with us, and we will definitely share with them the draft that we have to finalize it, to revision, to make it represent the Southern African will, including the structure, the mechanism, and collaborations that are being proposed. So what's the other one? I think those are the 2 questions. And for
there was
for sharing of
recommendation. There was a recommendation from Zambia. You can just check the chat that proposed that the MPHI in each member state to be the focal point to coordinate and bring together the multi-sectoral stakeholders and experts at the country level. Can you comment
that's
on
one go back to member state online. Can we support that proposal from Zambia? Please, you can say yes, or you can raise your hand on the chat if you like that idea. And then we can give you 1 week to submit those things. Will be the right people to represent those member states. So, colleague, the member states, your reflection on that proposed from Zambia. Silent either mean rejection or approval. Which one?
Usually means consent.
Okay. Haven't seen anyone raise hands.
Hello,
I've seen
Almiro from Mozambique.
Oh, great to have you. Yes.
Yeah, so the Zambian proposal is quite interesting. When we come to legal framework and on the other hand to increase the acceptability and the engagement of the countries of the member states. There are maybe sometimes we can have people acting well and interacting well with the network, within the network, but the recommendation or idea coming from this could not be acceptable at all if the directors or the ministers are not well involved or are not too aware of that. So it should start from them so that we can work on it and we can implement all, or we can follow up all the recommendations that are emanated from this network. So I think it is important to involve them completely. They will divide the activities or delegate some activities to others in their own countries, but it should start from them. At least directors or minister of health. We know whether they are too busy, but they have to nominate people they know, they are sure they will give specific feedback and they will be acceptable. So that is my view in terms of who should be part of this.
Okay, thank you very much. So maybe what you're suggesting is we write to the directors of the MPHIs or the directors in the ministry to inform them of this and have them do the nomination. Is that what you're suggesting?
Yes, that is my suggestion.
Okay, thank you. It's noted, sir. Thank you very much, Mozambique. Any others? We are 10 minutes beyond our time. Is there any other suggestion? Any other feedback? Okay, in the absence of any, as we've extended our time, thank you very much. I'm going to hand over to the coordinator, Dr. Lul, to give us the closing formalities, and then we'll adjourn till the next echo session. Over to you, sir.
Well, to conclude, I want to seize this opportunity to thank each and every one of you on the call, especially from our member states. Africa CDC is saying on its commitment to support all the member states to build a strong healthcare system that will have capability and ability to respond timely in any health challenge. So please, let's see this opportunity seriously. This is an opportunity for all of us to have, to work together in these regions for the sake of our peoples. And also I would like to thank our colleague from the HQ for the support. And have you seen it? We need to also to ask you to have a meeting with us, to have a review on the feedback that came from member states. So we incorporate some of those for the next presentation. Again, to close, I would like to thank my colleague from the RCC for the technical support, for the commitment and the fashions, and to work as hard as they could imagine. So with this, thank you so much. I look forward to interact with you in our next ECO meetings that will take place in the next 2 weeks. And we hopefully will have a very good agenda that will be interesting to all of you and also was in line with your priorities. So thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye. We'll send the presentation and the recordings to everyone who attended.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.